Welcome back, City Builders. Kodiak the Kodiak here. In today's video, we're going to be going over the 10 free assets included in the newest update coming to City Skylines 2 this Tuesday, March 18th. On top of that, we're also going to be going over the newest patch for City Skylines 2 that's also coming out the same day that has a plethora of changes and bug fixes to boot. This is the fourth and final video of all the videos I have kind of covering the new content that's coming out this Tuesday. So not only is there a new patch, but there's 3 content creator packs coming to the game, all of which are included in the Ultimate Edition. So if you have the Ultimate Edition, you're getting all of this stuff for free. Or, well, technically you paid for it. And we had video breaking down each one of these creator packs. We had a video on Leisure Venues by Grooney, Dragon's Gate by Emperor Lee, and Mediterranean Heritage by Zarix. If you guys haven't taken a look at those, please make sure you take a look at the playlist up in the annotations right now, where you can go back and take a look at my breakdowns of all of them. Not that I'm picking favorites here, but I really liked Leisure Venues by Grooney. I'm going to be using the heck out of that DLC. Now, before we get started, 70% of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed. So if you guys haven't done so already, please drop a subscription. It means a ton. So before we get started, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and do not forget to turn on notifications so you can keep up to date with all the City Skylines 2 news, tips, and tricks. Without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so here we are back in the map that we've been utilizing to show off the new content creator packs of Leisure Venues, Dragon's Gate, and Mediterranean Heritage. Again, these packs are created by content creators who populated our workshop in City Skylines 1. So by supporting these packs, you're supporting these creators. Really awesome that Colossal Order does that and partners with those creators, so I am excited to see what more things that these creators make for us. Now, that being said, that's not the point of today's video. We're diving into the 10 years, 10 free assets down here in the left. These are the 10 new free assets coming to every single person's game in City Skylines 2. Now, some of them are kind of birthday 10-year themed, but some of them are just some really nice parks. So first off, let's dive on in and start first here. I'm not really too sure what's up with the lighting on this. I'm not sure if it's just because I hit play. Normally I don't hit play and you can't see the lighting, but it does look like they're always on, these lights. Not really too sure what's up with that. Let me see if I can change that. Okay, there we go. I got them turned off. Here we are. So this is the Chirplet Park. Here we go. A small corner playground with chirper-themed swings and spring rockers. These little guys that the kids would bounce on. That's what those are called, spring rockers? I used to love those as a kid. So we got some chirper ones here, and then we also got some, like what looks like a seesaw over here. We got a slide, and then we obviously have the swings here. This is a cute little chirper park. Definitely something for the birthday and to just fit on brand with City Skylines. Next up is the Chirper Park. So this is just the Chirper Park. Chirper-themed urban playground with fun activities for children. Since Chirper is the mascot of the game, I guess it makes sense that these are mostly playgrounds for kids here. So if you look, they got some cool Dragon Balls in the background, or I guess we'll call them Chirper Balls in this. Plus one outdoor recreation here. So we got some more seesaws, some more swings, some merry-go-rounds, or some like spinny rounds. What are these called? What are any of these kids' toys called? It's been so long since I was a kid. We got some trampolines, you know, we got the rockers, and then we got some more slides over here. And then you got a little bit of trees in the front, and then some kind of big play pad here in the middle with what looks like some little thing for kids to like kind of come in and pretend like they're running a stall. Oh, what's really cool here is it looks like there's some barrels with Chirper on it. Maybe you can turn those into some Chirper-themed trash cans for a Chirper-themed theme park, maybe? Potentially. We also got these Chirper-themed benches, and that is actually pretty sick. I really like how everything is just very, very overtly Chirper-themed. Now, I can't find these in the normal menu. However, all of these assets are available for plopping just by themselves if you have the Find It mod. I'm using an older version of the Find It mod. This is getting a little bit of a makeover, I think, with the newer update, so your icons might look a little different than mine, but you can actually place them individually and make kind of your own little park. Oh, look at this little climbing flame. Maybe this is a spoiler to the next park, actually, but yeah, you can place all of these things down as well. But again, they're not actually included in the actual props menu, which is a little unfortunate. At least I couldn't find them. Maybe you guys will, or maybe that'll be included when they actually launch the update. Not really too sure what's up with that, but you can find them and find it if you just search for Chirper. Next up, we have the Chirper Adventure Park, a large Chirper-themed playground with wide selection of activities that will provide a fun day of adventure. Here we are. Look at all this. So we got some Chirper stamps on the ground. You got all the picnic tables. You get some bigger trampolines, not just the small ones over here. We have that little booth thing, some more swings. And then there's those little climbing frames as well. So that is the Chirper Adventure Park for all the kiddos. Has +3 outdoor recreation, 2 to boot. Next up is the Chirper Fun Time Complex. I feel like they were running out of names. Because the Fun Time Complex just feels like I don't know what else to call this. A large Chirper playground featuring trampolines, swing sets, a cafe, and a petting zoo. Guaranteed fun time for the whole family. So over here you can see the petting zoo. I don't see any animals, so a little unfortunate. Maybe if you play it long enough, the animals will pop up. You can always, I guess, plop some cows down in there if you really want to. But, and it's just kind of got a playground throughout the rest of it. Just a little bit of a different style to it. But what's really nice about this park is it does have some path connections here. So if we do go into the landscaping here and we want to, let's turn off snapping except to surfaces here. Boom. We can connect these up to different pathways if we want. Just like that. That looks terrible, but you guys get the idea. This building also has +3 outdoor recreation. Okay, so that was the end of the Chirper-themed assets, so now we just have some nice parks. So we have the Activity Playground, a playground with a kick scooter track that will give joy to kids. So as you can see, they go around in a circle and they can race around. I'm not really sure how this actually looks when citizens are utilizing it. I wonder if kids can actually use it. I doubt it. If they can't get bikes to work, I doubt they have kick scooter kids working. But maybe that means that the bikes will also have people using electric scooters and stuff. That'd be super cool. I know some of the people who work at Colossal Order said that they actually take electric scooters. There's a lot of them in Tempera that they take them from their apartments to work every day. So pretty interesting. Maybe that's a hint for something that's going to be coming with the bikes update, but maybe not read into that too much. But +1 outdoor recreation. It's pretty bright and vibrant, so do keep that in mind, but it is pretty cute. Next up is this kind of cool one, this Hilly Playground, a colorful playground that energizes the children. The children. +1 outdoor recreation. I love how it says the children. Really cool climbing frames here. I don't remember this one right here. Maybe it does. Maybe this is a real climbing frame, but it looks like they climb up over it and then slide down if they want to. That's kind of cool. I would have loved that as a kid. But then there's some more climbing frame stuff here. I don't know what of this is new and what isn't, but as if you look through here, look at this. So they can climb up this hill right here if they want. They run up and they can slide down. You got a little gazebo over here for the kids to kind of chill out and play in or sit in if they want to and play house, or they can climb through this tunnel. Look at that. I think it's super neat. I think it's just unique, and it would be like a nice little fun park for kids to play in your actual city. I like this one quite a bit. Next up is a super interesting one, a playround. Another bright park here, but oh look, it's an orange and a fantastic park with many climbing possibilities. So there's lots of stuff. So we got swings here with a monkey bar swing on it. We have what looks to be a seesaw here. We got a climbing frame, another climbing frame, some seating for the parents. Very bright, very orange, and round also. This is a round park, so do keep that in mind. Might want to put some surfaces around it or something, or I don't know, decorate accordingly. Next up is probably my favorite of the parks, and that is the basketball center, a basketball facility with covered seating. I actually really like how it has covered seating because you could think of it like there's some like club activities here, like a city intramural basketball league could be hosted here, and everyone just kind of hangs out at the basketball court just waiting to play or something like that, and they're hanging out in the bleachers, you know. Teenagers are smoking cigarettes when they're not supposed to be. You know, it's kind of that kind of park. I really like this. I think the basketball hoops look great. I think everything about this is really cool, actually. This also adds +20 outdoor recreation, which is a substantial amount compared to some of the other parks so far. So, pretty cool. I really like this one. I am definitely going to put this in my city somewhere. Next up is another great one, and this is the Dog Activity Park. So this is more of an open dog park. A dog park with an agility track and a lean-to for unwinding after a full day of canine shenanigans. I like how this feels like more of an actual like dirt park that you would maybe see here in the States. Like it's kind of off the beaten path a little bit more. Like there's actual hiking trails. Like it's usually this gravel, at least by me, it's usually like a gravel or dirt parking lot that you would come in and park. Looks like there's a little outhouse right there, and then you can kind of come through here. The dogs can kind of just like run around in the open throughout this park. There's some benches, some rocks for the dogs to climb on. My dog loves climbing on rocks whenever she gets the opportunity to. Got a little lean-to right here with a fire pit. I don't know how comfortable I feel about the fire pit barbecue grill, but there's some dog houses here as well. And then, you know, you can kind of just like walk out over this way. I think that's really nice. I really like this park. And there's also some agility course right here. So we have the little things that they go boop, 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 boop. They bob and weave. They do the jump in. They go through the little slide. They go through the seesaw and then climb up the thing. And then they stand up here, you know. It's really nice. I really like this one. Finally, we have the Park Cafe, a park pavilion with a cozy cafe, +2 outdoor recreation. Yeah, this seems like really cool. I feel like this would fit really well inside of more of a like touristy park kind of place. Like, I guess when we were in Helsinki on the content creator trip, a bunch of us took a trip out to an island out there that actually Teddy Radko's high school was named after. The guy who like designed the island, which was super interesting, but I digress. This feels like a cafe that would be like on an island like that, where it's more of like a touristy focused kind of place. It feels like rather than just like a generic city park cafe. It feels too grand to be something like that. But you have all these bushes on the top here, which I think is super interesting. And then it looks like there's like maybe an observing deck inside as well, or just a place for like light to kind of pop in. But this is super cute. I like this one. Okay, so there is the 10 years, 10 free assets for City Skylines 2. I hope you guys enjoy some of those and are excited maybe to put some of these in your city. I definitely am putting probably these 3 in my city. I don't know about the other ones. Maybe the Chirper Fun Times Complex, but you know, I think the Chirper stuff might just be a little too bright for me, maybe. We'll see how I end up placing things. But do keep that in mind that these Chirper assets can be placed individually, like the Chirper Gazebo, if you have Find It, too. So there's all those assets, and here's all the new assets coming with the DLC packs as well. So if you have the Ultimate Edition, you guys are getting all this, and then otherwise you got to buy these ones individually. So since you guys have looked at all these assets, I guess which one's your favorite from all the packs? If you just watched this video, maybe tell me which one's your favorite park down in the comments, or if you guys liked any of the buildings from like Leisure Venues, Dragon's Gate, or Mediterranean Heritage, let me know down in the comments which one was your favorite. Now that we're done looking at all of the assets for this coming update, let's take a look at some of the patch notes, because there is some crazy changes that are actually happening to the game. Okay, so here we are at the patch notes. This is the little brief they give us to kind of explain what's in the new patch so we can, you know what's in it as early access content creators. I didn't think we were allowed to show this off, but Overcharged Egg does it every single time. So if I'm not supposed to, Paradox, blame Egg. That being said, let's actually talk about 1.2.4 F1 patch. However, this will actually end up being 1.2.5. You guys won't have to worry about what the problem is, but just know that this should be 1.2.5, and if it's not, be a little mindful that your city might implode, and you should wait maybe till 1.2.5 pushes live. Now, if you're anything like this commenter on City Planner Play's most recent video, you will have been maybe frustrated by the fact that they keep telling us that the homelessness has been fixed, but it isn't actually getting fixed. However, they have even more changes to homelessness and hopeful fixes in this patch. I feel like homelessness is like a piece of clothing inside a pile of laundry that you kind of just have sitting in a corner somewhere, and you try to pull out one piece of clothing and then the whole pile kind of falls over. That's kind of how the homelessness issue feels like. It feels like it's something they're trying to pull out of a pile, and in reality, it's so tangled up with everything else inside the pile that they can't get the one piece of clothing out without tearing everything apart. So this patch includes several quality of life improvements related to homelessness. Homelessness statistic is now available in-game. You can actually see the homelessness is added to the population info view as well. Homeless households are visible and selectable inside of parks, inside selected info panels, so you guys can actually see where people who are homeless are actually living and who's living there, much like you can a normal household, and improvements to when citizens move out to reduce homelessness. They say these changes make it easier to track homelessness, find homeless populations in your city, and check the simulation for individual homeless citizens. If the homeless in your city are genuinely employed, they simply need affordable housing. So just build some low-rent housing. It should maybe help cause the problem to solve itself. If they're also unemployed, they will need jobs suitable for their education level before they can leave the homeless status behind. Additionally, we have improved the logic behind newly adult citizens moving out of their childhood homes. Previously, they would move out immediately once they reach adulthood, and if no affordable homes were available, they would become homeless. This seems like it's maybe the reason why we were having so much homelessness, is just every parent was like, "You're 18 now, get the heck out," and they kick them right in the butt. So hopefully this fixes that problem. Now they stay with their parents until certain criteria of conditions are met. Newly adults need a job before moving out, so they have to get a job first. They contribute to the household's wealth until the household can afford to provide them with starting money, giving them a better chance to start a life on their own. So they'll actually give them a nest egg to kind of start with, or they check if there's any available homes in the city before moving out. If there's not enough homes available in your city, they may choose to move out of the city and become commuters. Commuters can and often will move to the city when housing becomes available, so that's really interesting to know as well. Now, there's some known issues here. This first one is related to crime. They did some balancing changes to crime. Apparently, some buildings were just not producing crime. So as a result, your city may actually be inundated with crime. So maybe you want to place some more police stations around your city. They also said industrial and office zone tax income has lowered following a bug fix that deducts wages from untaxed income. If office zones struggle to become profitable, then make sure they have enough highly educated workforce available. Now, new features. Obviously, we have the 10 City Skylines 10 years birthday parks, but you might notice right here, added an easy and normal mode. Okay, so here we are back in game, and one of the important things to know about this update is, just like I said, that there is now an easy and normal mode. Now, this happens when you're starting a new save. So if we hit escape here and we go to new game, you'll be greeted with this new easy and normal mode options. The best way to explain it is that easy kind of feels more like how the game originally was when it came out, in terms of how easy it kind of was to balance your city and play the game, and normal is a lot more like Economy 2.0. This gives players who are looking for a little bit more of a challenge still have access to the challenging version of the game, and the easy mode has the exact opposite. Players who are looking for a little bit more of an easier experience or a way to learn the game perhaps can actually go and play on easy mode. So a stress-free city building experience with reduced costs, faster progression, and government subsidies that help balance the city's economy. It's ideal for the casual player. Starts off with $2 million instead of $1 million. You have a milestone monetary rewards of 6x versus the 1x of the normal mode. Loan limit is 2x of the normal mode. Increased building refund amount. No building relocation costs, government subsidies are enabled, accelerated development and point distribution, lowered pollution levels, and lowered service building upkeeps. Whereas the normal mode has all the first ones I read about: progressive map tile upkeep, standard building refund amount, standard building relocation costs, government subsidies disabled, progressive development points distribution, standard pollution levels, and standard building upkeeps. Now, as far as I know, you can't change a save between build modes, so your old saves might be stuck probably on normal mode, I would guess. But when you start a new save, you can go into the modes. Let's select easy mode here. You select the map, and then you still will go through the same options as you would normally go through. You can choose to unlock all map tiles, limited money, unlock all, and all of these options will still remain the same for both game modes. Next up is some gameplay fixes and improvements. Fix the crash desktop when loading a save with region pack content after disabling the pack. So if you guys were experiencing that, that's fixed. Now, they fixed a bunch of crashes. I'm not going to go through all of those, but if you guys were experiencing this crashing, take a look at the patch notes and see if your issue potentially is fixed, or just try to start the game and see if it was fixed that way. Now, I've already explained a little bit of the crime-related fix, but there is a fixed issue with police cars ignoring criminals when standing at a crime scene. I've definitely experienced that, so apparently that's been fixed, and fixed the low-high visual display for jail and prison availability not matching the actual capacity. So if you've ever kind of noticed that was an issue, that has also now been fixed. Now, there's a few other homeless fixes. Fixed an issue with homeless citizens getting stuck after demolishing buildings in a city before version 1.1.8 F1. So if you guys had that problem, apparently that's been fixed. Fixed homeless citizens having a blank destination field, and landmark buildings no longer have homeless encampments. So any of the landmark buildings now are unable to be a location where a homeless encampment can actually occur. Now, there are also some garbage fixes as well, and most of it had to do with capacity, and they really just worked on increasing the amount that actually can be transported between buildings, specifically inside of vehicles. So keep that in mind, that if you notice some improvements for your garbage, that might be why. Those are some traffic fixes as well. One of them I'm very excited about, actually, is this first one right here. Improve citizen pathfinding so they can walk through parks connected to multiple roads. So this should be helpful if you create a park that kind of connects two roads together. People can actually just walk through it as part of their daily commute. Apparently before they could not, so this hopefully fixes that issue. Makes your city feel more livable. You know, if you got a park and people are walking to and from work, they're gonna walk through it if it's the fastest way to get to their job. So they're not just gonna follow a sidewalk. So this is really nice. I really like that. I'll read through some of these traffic fixes as well. Improve traffic flow in some intersections by giving vehicles blocking crossing traffic priority to exit the intersection. So if you're stuck in an intersection, you actually get priority when it comes to actual traffic flow, so you can get out of the intersection, because you really shouldn't be in there as a car anyway. So that totally makes sense that that person would be able to quickly go, whoop, I'm out of here. So that way traffic flow kind of maintains, because that feels realistic to me. So they've also improved boarding time for taxis, so it's actually faster to get in and out of the taxi. Fixed fire trucks being unable to reach some sub-building upgrades that are not by a road, so that's really nice. I mean, gosh, I can't tell you how many times I've seen a sub-building burned down because no one could get to it, so that's really nice. Fixed cars unnecessarily despawning in roundabouts happen more often with busy multi-lane roundabouts and emergency vehicles. If you guys ever noticed that, no longer a problem anymore. Fixed cars incorrectly slowing down when going through green traffic lights. Gosh, I can't tell you how much of a problem that actually was so long ago when I built my first city. I noticed that and I was like, what's going on? So I'm glad they finally fixed that one. There's also this one, which I think is really interesting. Fixed medical helicopters, transporting injured patients to the disease control center, even though they cannot heal them. Interesting. This also fixes some issues with healthcare vehicles trying to pick up citizens who are in other vehicles as well. This is also a nice little immersive simulation fix. Fixed delivery trucks, extractor vehicles with trailers reversing through themselves instead. They enter the building, disappear, then spawn again at the correct ride direction. Yeah, so that like weird like pivot that they would make through the trailer doesn't happen apparently anymore, which is really nice. There was also apparently a bug with city service buildings or an upgrade where it would actually charge you money if you went to place the building in the exact same spot. So like if you were to click on a building, let's say, and then move it and then place it back in the same spot again and say, actually, I just want to leave it, it would still charge you a move fee apparently. So that's now been fixed as well. Now, they've also improved company profitability calculations to compare last month's profit to the current month's profit for a more accurate number. Now, I'm not sure if this was the issue related to what caused 1.2.5 to kind of be the newest build instead of 1.2.4 or what, but I also noticed from some content creators, they've also said that their factories have actually stopped spawning and it's mostly warehouses now to kind of balance things out as a result. There was also a bug fix to goods being collected from empty warehouses up here as well. So there's going to be a lot of deep simulation changes that might really affect the landscape of your city. So do keep that in mind. I saw Phil, City Planner Plays, also recommend that you should download the 529 tile mod and turn down your tile upkeep multiplier as a result, just until you fix everything with your simulation, because so much is going to deeply change potentially here that, you know, you wouldn't want to like corrupt and lose your city as a result. And I think he's totally right for making that suggestion. I would recommend it as well. They also made some pretty substantial changes to how the cities are actually viewed. They reduced the actual amount of rain on some of the maps by about 20%. They made some balance changes to the San Francisco map too, as well as some other things like aerial perspective to be slightly blue, adjusted day-night contrast to be higher, adjusted night tint color, things like that. So if you notice your game looks a little different, that's why. Now, there has been a lot of UI changes in this update as well. Notably, in-game, you'll notice that the bottom bar where you actually go to select all of your stuff, the UI has completely changed for that. I'm not a super big fan of the recycling symbol one, but I do kind of like the style change. Let me know how you guys feel about that down in the description. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. There's a modding fix and improvement, which fixed the climate and latitude and longitude not being properly aligned to the simulation, and also fixed alignment assets in the solar power plants. If you guys noticed that, those have been fixed. There's also some issue where the students could walk through a fence at the city elementary school. That's also been fixed now as well. There's also been an update to the Paradox mods. The SDK has been updated to 1.31, which to you as a general user, you may not notice any issues or changes with that because you're not uploading things to Paradox mods necessarily. But I'll start from the bottom here and work my way up to the one that's most important, I think. So first off, it shows DLC dependency names now in Paradox mods, which is really nice. Shows tag usage count as well. Allows the social username if a user doesn't have one in their My Profile. So you can manually go in and set one on your profile if you want to. And the most important one that I think is support for a GoFundMe external link. One of the best part about Paradox mods is its ability to actually have really easy to find social links or other links to other platforms for our favorite creators and modders. You know, they do work tirelessly for free, so I always suggest throwing them a couple bucks here and there. So if they want to add a GoFundMe link now, as well as like Patreon, things like that, they can do that right there. And just a reminder, Paradox doesn't take a cut here. Paradox mods will always be free. They've pushed this several times here now, so it bears repeating. This is just all to support the content creators who populate our workshop for free. So while on the surface, there really isn't too many notable changes, the game will feel significantly different after this patch due to the balance changes, specifically with how businesses and homelessness are now calculated. Now today, March 17th, 2025, as well as tomorrow, March 18th, I'm going to be live here on Kodiak Cities, as well as on my Twitch stream, Kodiak the Kodiak. We'll be playing with the new update. I might be doing my detailed build, or I might be doing my zoning build. I haven't really decided which one I'm going to play yet. but we'll be playing around with some of the new stuff where you can come in and ask questions if you have any. There's been actually some other City Skylines 2 news that I haven't talked about in a video yet, so I'll have 2 more videos probably coming out in the next few days here, going over these new pieces of information that I won't spoil necessarily, so you guys maybe want to come back through. That being said, if you don't remember, City Skylines 1 also has some new content coming out, and we're going to be covering it here on the channel as well. So make sure you guys have notifications turned on so you can keep up to date with all that information. With that being said, I'll let you guys get on with your day. I've been Kodiak the Kodiak, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.